This video will show how to create meetings on EasySpeak, how to assign roles, and also how to enter the meeting records. This can be done by the president or the VP of education. Members need to be assigned those roles on EasySpeak. It doesn't automatically come from having that club officer role. So the previous president needs to enter the incoming executive team on EasySpeak. All right, so to create meetings or to even assign roles, we go to this meeting tab. As you can see, there is a meeting here. So this is the next available meeting. Today's date is July 11th, 2024. So the next Tuesday, the next meeting will be on July 16th, 2024. If we want to create another one, we can create meeting here. So these are essentially templates or schedules where we can fill in the roles. So I just clicked on create meeting here, and it actually takes the next Tuesday. So this will be July 23rd, 2024, since 16th already has a meeting assigned. From this page, the next thing to pick would be to do the agenda. I would recommend just using the standard meeting agenda. This has all the roles set up, and all we need to do is go through drop-down menu and pick the particular member that we want to assign that role to, or having that member also pick themselves. The idea is that once a meeting is created, members can also access the meeting on EasySpeak and pick a role that they'd like. So I'm just going to use standard meeting. Obviously, there are other agendas, as you might have noticed. We have one for the contests and one for Zoom meetings, but we have a standard one that we've been using for our regular in-person meetings. It has additional roles that we used to do in our in-person meetings, and we can just leave those blank if members don't want to do those roles, or we just don't have enough members. We can always just leave them empty. Having extra just gives them a little more freedom, so they don't have to always create a new template just for a particular situation. So once we're happy, we can click submit. And then from here, we can either view that event or we can add another event. It also, if we aren't up to date with our meeting records, EasySpeak does throw this pop-up up. We're allowed to have 3 meetings that we don't finalize our records. I'll show you now what that means. So we can go to last meeting. So this would be July 9th. Oh, actually, we didn't have a meeting that day. So actually, it just goes next Tuesday. So here we have a meeting here. So to finalize, we just basically pick. We check off whoever's present based on the records from either the secretary or if the VP of Education was also taking notes during the meeting. That's also another way. We then verify who are the recipients of awards. You might notice that certain things aren't available here. It is smart. So if we don't have any speakers listed and also not confirmed to have attended, you wouldn't be able to select that particular option. And table topics, it always just picks from the pool of all of our available members that were present. Same thing with the evaluator. It first filters out the members assigned the evaluator roles, table topics evaluator and speech evaluators, and of that pool, which members were confirmed to have attended. So it is important to actually fill in the attendee list because that dictates what we can select. Now, you might have noticed that we don't have a most improved award. You can always add another award. And this is also the way that you would add like ties, for example. If we had additional table topic speakers that won, you can always pick the table topics award and it'll fill in an extra one. And then obviously, if that was a mistake, we can always just delete it with here. Once this page is filled in to your satisfaction, we can close the meeting. It's possible to always open the meeting again to update the records. So it's not the end of the world if you accidentally close it and misenter some data. You can always go back, reopen it, make your changes, and then close it again. Now let's go back to our next meeting. So we had already created one for the 16th, so that's why it's already there. Now this menu pops up. So I don't particularly want to enter my records right now, but always make sure you enter records. You aren't able to create new meetings if there are more than 3 meetings that don't have the records confirmed and closed. So from here, this is the list, and to assign roles, we can just pick from the list of available members, and you can just assign them as you wish. So say, for example, let's assign the role of chair to Clifton. Nope, there we go. And then you can press save, and that will assign the role, and they'll get a notification. Now, so this is different from the member side. The member side, you would go for participation, and you can see here. So say, for example, they want the inspirator role. Oh. So as you can see, I'm not able to, I'm acting as Clifton, so I'm not able to pick multiple roles. So if I just go back to the meeting again and unassign that role to me, and then I go to participation, this allows me to sign up for various things. So I can sign up for any of these available roles here. This does mean that members can't take multiple roles. So if a situation does come up where a member wants to do multiple roles, they would have to contact either the president or the VP of education. Those are the members that have access to the back end meetings schedule with the drop down menu, and then they can assign to the member. I'll just go back to the meeting again and demonstrate that. So say, for example, Clifton's going to be both the chair and also the Toastmaster. So with access, admin access from either being the president or the VP of education, you're able to do this on the back end and assign 2 roles to some members. It's pretty common that we assign the timer and the grammarian role to the same person since they're smaller roles. So that's essentially it. Once the meeting is finished, you can always make sure to record the results. And also, we can go just for example, we can go for the calendar. Tuesday 9th, return Toastmasters. Now, we can edit the meeting. We can also delete this. And then the 9th wouldn't exist since we didn't have a meeting on the 9th. Now, also here, this is incorrect because we won't actually have a meeting on the 23rd as well. So we can edit this meeting, and here, instead of deleting it, we could just push it to a different date. So we're going to have a meeting on the 30th instead. So we can return to the calendar and we can see all the meetings. And this also lists all the other clubs in our area as well, so we can even see other ones when they're meeting. It looks like it still has one for the 23rd, so let's adjust that and just delete it. go next. All right, there, the 30th. So a lot of this is pretty self-explanatory. The UI isn't super complicated, and there's a lot of ways to correct mistakes if it comes up. So that's been a quick tutorial on how to both create meetings, assign roles, and write down the records for previous meetings.